by the mistreatment of people. There's only one time that I've ever called anybody coon on this app, and that's because his name is quite literally the Coon Tony. He's a pretty crazy character on this app.
Yeah.
But when you say
You're really
an attack
muffled,
on,
Tom. T-Bone,
can
you're
you hear me
really,
better
really
now?
muffled.
All
Yes.
right, cool. Yeah. Yeah, so as I was saying, like I don't promote any type of mistreatment towards people. I speak out on those types of situations. And the only time that I've ever called anybody coon on this app was because that is quite literally his name, and he's a special character. But when you sit here and say, do you think the attack on white people should stop? I don't really see an attack on white people. I think that there's, especially on this app. I I like to tell people that I can smell bullshit from a mile away. And typically, you see these white people that are getting into these conversations, that are getting up into these black spaces and these black panels, specifically to provoke black people, right? And act as if they don't have information that they do have, to try to sit there and act as if they're coming up
Baby
here to
John,
try to
hold it
get
down for me.
educated, uh, acting as if they're trying to get educated when really that's not the case, right? And I know that you all have seen these types of situations as well. And I know Osa has seen it and whatnot, so I'm sure that you all have seen it as well. So for me, I don't necessarily think that that's attack. I think that if you bring smoke to a conversation, you should get smoke. And it's just that simple. So, I mean, if you're going to sit here and tell me that there are people who are unprovokingly attacking white people, then I'll hear out what you have to say. But me personally, I just haven't seen this.
You're constantly in Belle's live and you guys twist her stuff up daily. And I'm just going to say it how I see it. Her and I are, not mutuals, but I have seen it multiple times, her being attacked, and she is, an Albanian woman, just like I am. And I respect her as an individual human being, but I have seen it done on her platform so much. It's almost sickening. And I'm going to say it because I think majority of us on this panel know who Belle is. And I'm just going to say that is one of the people that you guys attack for no reason. And you twist her words quite often.
So Belle is one of the people that I hang with on this app, and I say I be over there because the bigots be over there. Everybody know how I am with that. Nowhere do I ever attack Belle. Nowhere ever has that happened. And now I have tried to educate Belle in the sense of letting her know that, hey, this background might provoke a conversation or spark a conversation that'll send a message to the black community that might not be right. So maybe you want to classify a certain thing, but it ends up happening, right? Like that's what TikTok is. And it's either we gonna have the conversations or we not. That's why I like being over there, because those conversations are had. And if the biggest come up in the panel, we can handle that and we can have a conversation about it. But at no point in time is an attack being perpetuated, right? Like I don't see this happening.
Yes, it is. I see it every single time she is live. I see it. I'm like, holy crap. I mean, how much can this woman take?
And here's
Also, have you seen this? Can you give me an example of that?
seeing what's that? I'm sorry. I'm working now, so I just kind of.
So Lola was.
What were you saying?
Yeah, Lola was saying that Belle is constantly being attacked by black people on this app, provoking people for no reason.
Yeah. Well, so the thing is that can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
You have a lot of background noise, but yes.
Give me one. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. So the thing with Belle is that she gets a lot of flack due to the fact that she leans conservative. Yeah, she leans towards the right, and sort of there's this idea that if you are a conservative in America, then you are basically batting for the wrong team. You're racist. You're a MAGA supporting, Confederate toting racist. So that's why she gets a lot of heat. Now, obviously, she's a sweet person. I'm not going to say I agree with everything she say, but she gets that flack because of that sort of association. It's basically guilt by association. So that's why there's some people that have sort of animosity towards her in life because they think she's racist, when she's really not.
No,
she really isn't.
No, let's not do that because we're justifying the behaviors. I'm not justifying.
I'm not saying I justify it. No. Hold on.
We are justifying
the behavior.
It doesn't matter what somebody believes in, what somebody stands on. Yeah. If you are not being derogatory and you're not being a hateful person, there should never be discrimination just because I can. Just because I don't agree with you, I'm gonna physically
Yeah,
try
yeah,
to one harm you or social media wise try to dox people because they don't agree with
yeah. I'm
them.
not saying it's okay now. No. Let's be clear here. I'm not saying that it's okay to attack or dox. No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying why people come at Bell the way they do. It's the same reason why they come at me the same way, because of my political leanings and my views. You see what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I never say it was okay or justified. I'm just saying that's why people come at her like that, and I think they judge her unfairly, to be honest. So,
And they
Yeah.
also are more likely to attack her because she's white. You know, a lot of black liberals, they tend to just see somebody who's white, hear they're conservative, and just don't want to hear anything they say. And that's an experience that I've had, like seeing a lot of white people go into lives that are like predominantly black. And they will be like trying to be positive and have a conversation, but it just seems that they don't want to listen to what the person has to say and just keeps attacking them. And I've actually seen that multiple times in different like lives. So I would say that that is a thing that actually happens.
So
if you're white and conservative and Christian, you better forget it. You're going to get a lot of smoke on the app, because the idea is that, okay, these people are inherently racist, MAGA supporters, and so they're working against our best interests, which a lot of them are not. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them are good people. It's just they have the label on them. So that's why they get heat on the app.
so so I don't necessarily think that's all the way true either. And just because like it's a genuine standpoint, like I said, you feel me? Like I said, I smell bullshit from a mile away, and so I can't remember what that one saying. It's like fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Some bullshit like that, right? And
Okay, so
if
elaborate. What are you
right,
smelling
right.
that's
So
bullshit?
right. So if you come into a conversation with me and you're under the impression of you don't understand how black people are experiencing oppression and that there's no systemic racism, right? And if we educate you on the matter to say like, hey, this is how black people feel, this is why you saying certain things are problematic, this is why the way that you move might rub black people the wrong way, right? And then you go out into these TikTok streets and you start perpetuating the exact same things that we had a conversation about, right? It's a smack in the face to me because you saying one thing in the live about how you're understanding where I'm coming from and that you don't want to perpetuate racism, yet you go out and exhibit that exact same behavior, right? And furthermore, we talking, and that's for people that I feel are quote unquote genuine, right? We're not even talking about the people
Who are
that
you
come into
talking
them
about?
boxing.
Because I do name drop. Go ahead. Who are you talking about?
Well, I don't need to name drop. Well, I see these
Yeah,
people
I
on the
mean, who
daily.
are
I
you
don't.
talking about? Because it sounds like you're talking about a specific person or persons because you're making this very apparent like this is actually happening. So who are you talking about?
No. You're misreading what I'm saying. This type of stuff happens on the daily, right? Like I don't implant those names in my head. Otherwise, I'd have a whole Google Doc list for you of people who perpetuate this. I'm telling you what I see on the daily on this app.
The thing is, some white people be genuinely just trying to go on a panel and learn their perspectives on different things, but they like to be very passive aggressive with it. There is no need to have an attitude with a person who's just trying to learn. You talk about how you want to educate, but when it comes to telling people about things, you be passive aggressive, you have an attitude, and you like to throw in insults, which is very unneeded, right?
Yeah, sometimes we've seen panels where they'll come on genuine because they want to learn and get the other perspective, and they get heat a lot of times, and we can't
Also,
pretend that we haven't seen it.
my bad. Also, I didn't mean
T-Bone.
it sounded like something was
T-Bone,
in
did
your
you say
background.
false? Is that what you said?
No, I said Osa because I thought he was done talking. I was going to respond to what he said.
Oh, okay.
So let's just say for whatever reason that I agree with what y'all saying, right? We need to hold these black spaces accountable on TikTok for doing all these things. Gotcha. Um, can you tell me who's holding those people accountable who are coming into these boxes and purposely antagonizing black people unprovoked, getting in the boxes saying racial slurs, right?
Who? Name
Pretending as if
them.
they won't.
No,
Wait,
listen,
wait,
listen.
I don't
I,
need to
I,
name.
I do listen. That has actually happened like a few times, but nobody's trying to defend a racist. Like that, what you're naming is people coming into a panel and being ignorant, right? Of course, nobody's going to agree with somebody being racist.
Okay. So chocolate.
Sorry, I was respond. Oh, go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, I
Chocolate.
heard you
Oh, I'm
mention
sorry.
I heard you mention me, and I want to know why are you mentioning me? And when I specifically asked you not to mention me when I'm not here, and then also number two, is it a racial slur when you call me a coon and an Uncle Tom in the box unprovoked? Who's checking you?
Sure, yeah. So again, as I stated before, the reason why I mentioned your name is to say that there's only one person that I call Coon on this app, and it is the person who is named Chocolate Coon Tony, because that was your name, right? So let's not get that twisted. That's number one. Number two, I don't hold black people accountable for using the words Coon and Uncle Tom, right? I could disagree with it all I want to, but who the hell am I to tell another black person not to say those words, right? I'm gonna check white people for doing that shit for sure because
But
you're
you're not
not in
going
the
to
black
check
community, so
yourself.
you have absolutely not. No, I'm not going to check my people for doing that.
So you think so that don't make any sense. That's literally a double standard. That's a double negative, whatever you want to call it, and it makes you sound like and look like the hypocrite that you are. Because